Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the Mr. Channel, and on this episode, I'm going to slightly react dun sa napanood ko last night, a debate between Kainaro and Kayu, or Kamatis Analysis Unit, about psychology being a science. So, not so much on showing what transpired dun sa debate, but more on parang follow-up lang because medyo unsettled ako. I need to move on to some degree. Okay. I'm just unsettled lang to the point na I cannot I wasn't able to understand or hindi ko magets yung point ni Kainaro sa side ni Kainaro. And so even when I saw the live streams schedule, nag-research ako prior, but yung ni-research, nag-research. Actually, I just asked ChatGPT if psychology is a science because that's the debate. Is psychology science? Sa affirmative side is si Kainaro, which I don't know what the background is and who he is. And si Caillou is on the negative side, saying that or arguing that psychology is not a science. So, nag-chat GPT ako and parang I skim or scan through the result very quickly kasi start na yung debate. And I didn't want to miss a thing. No, I didn't want to miss something. So, parang nag nag tawag doon, nag-scroll down ako to the conclusion portion. And then no, actually I read yung first paragraph and then oh no, the second paragraph. Ano, ang gulo. I actually just check on the first part of the result and then there's a conclusion or last part of the result. And sabi dun sa first part, psychology is parang considered a soft science. And then sa last part is that yes, in its truest sense, psychology is science. So ngayon, I'm just gonna read the entire ChatGPT result of my question. Okay. Um, I'm not sure if this somehow gives clarification dun sa side na ina-argue or pinapoint ni Kainaro. Pero kasi hindi ko maintindihan talaga yung argument niya, yung explanation niya. Gulong-gulo ako. For some reason, I don't know why. Maybe because marami siyang gustong i-explain, but because of the time limit, um, hindi niya masyado ba-explain ng maayos, or maybe because he is also just trying to simplify things, or sadyang magulo yung train of thought niya as compared to how Kayo would try to make a point and say his arguments. So, siguro kasi sanay lang ako din kay Kayo. So, yon. So, okay, let's go to the result now. And let's just read yung result ni ChatGPT. This is basically, this recording is basically just for that. Ma-document ko lang yung ni-research ko, okay? Kasi, yun nga, hindi ko kasi mag-gets yung argument and point ni Kainaro. At some point, may mga nasabi siya na, okay, fine, acceptable. Pero majority of the time, I really had a hard time understanding him. So here we go, Chat GPT. So my first question was, is psychology science? And then it replied, Could you clarify what angle you're asking from? For example, are you looking for a general overview of whether psychology is considered a science? Or do you want perspective from different fields like natural sciences versus social sciences? Or three, are you exploring how scientific psychology is compared to other disciplines? Let me know your focus so I can tailor the response to what you're really after. Imagine me doing this like literally minutes before the debate started last night. So my second question is, could it be considered a science at all in its truest sense? So ito yung aking um, clarifying question. Is that what you call it? I don't know. Anyway, okay. So sabi ni ChatGPT, got it. I'll explore whether psychology is considered a science in the truest sense, including how it compares to natural sciences, its methodologies, and critics from both scientific and philosophical perspective. I'll report back with a clear overview of the debate and expert consensus. And and ChatGPT took 8 minutes to look into 29 resources and do 123 searches. Okay? So, eto na yung reply, yung sagot, which talagang na-scan ko lang kagabi, trying to just look into the keywords lang. Okay, so psychology as a science, historical and contemporary perspectives. Doon siya nag-start. Sa historical and contemporary perspectives. So, a classical burst under a floating brain and DNA, parang quote to, and DNA helixes symbolizes psychology's dual heritage. Dual heritage. Philosophical inquiry into the mind, that's the one side, and scientific study of biological underpinnings. Okay? So, psychology is broadly defined as the scientific study of the mind and human behavior. The definition came from this link from phoenix.edu na site. Yet, ever since its emergence as a formal discipline, scholars have debated whether psychology qualifies as real science in the truest sense. In academia, psychology often falls under social sciences. As far, yun din yung alam ko eh. Rather than the natural sciences, and some practitioners of hard sciences have been openly dismissive. I think nandito si I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay. So, well, practitioners of hard sciences have been openly dismissive of considering psychology as a science. So, for example, one biologist quipped that a psychologist claiming to represent a science department was like a little leaguer claiming to play in the major leagues. So, yun yung ano niya. Um, parang analogy niya. Such attitudes reflect a long-standing perception that fields like physics, chemistry, and biology are more legitimate, rigorous, and hard sciences, whereas psychology is a soft science. This report examines the issues from multiple angles: historical development, the social versus natural science distinction, psychology's use of scientific method. I think nag-dwell din si Kainara and si Kayo doon sa pag-use ng psychology ng scientific method, the replication crisis, the critics from philosophers and other scientists to assess whether psychology can be considered a science in the fullest sense. Historical development of psychology as a science. I think initially nagkaroon ako ng problema when Kainara started and said, um, parang, correct me if I'm wrong, but sa pagkakaalala ko, with this unreliable memory of mine, nag-start siya saying kung paano na-define yung psychology nung unang panahon. Parang ganon. Or nung panahon niya. Or nung nadatnan niya. Parang ganon. Which I think that's where the problem with me understanding him started. Kasi, sana he started with, in the recent years, ganyan-ganyan. Doon sana. In my opinion, ha? Ganon. Okay, let's continue. So, historical development of psychology as a science because it developed. Diba? Psychology's roots lie in philosophy. The term itself comes from Greek psyche or soul, which means soul, psyche and logos, explanation, and thinkers like Plato and Aristotle probed the nature of the human mind long before there was a scientific discipline. These early philosophers provided conceptual blueprints. For instance, Plato argued that experience cannot alter core human nature, while Aristotle contended that experience shapes behavior, but did not yet establish an empirical science of psychology. Centuries later, Enlightenment and early modern philosophers, yon, I'm sure kilala lahat yan ni Kayo, ako hindi, continued to speculate about mind and knowledge, setting the stage for a more formal study of psychology. Ginagano ko yung screen ko. Nakalimutan ko, hindi pala touchscreen. It was not until the mid-19th century that psychology began to take shape as an independent scientific field. In 1879, Wilhelm Wundt founded the first experimental psychology laboratory in Leipzig, tama ba yung pag-pronounce ko? Marking psychology's separation from philosophy into an empirical discipline. Time, Around that time, researchers like Hermann von Helmholtz, a physicist psychologist, applied experimental methods to sensation and perception. For example, demonstrating how human senses can be deceived, effectively developing psychophysics as a precursor to experimental psychology. Throughout the late 1800s, psychologists established textbooks, research journals, and university courses and performed experiments on reaction times, sensory perception, learning, etc. These produced quantitative data that could be reproduced and analyzed, meeting the hallmarks of scientific inquiry. So, doon nag-start yun. Okay, by the early 20th century, psychology was increasingly scientific in method, even as various schools of thought completed. The field saw paradigms like behaviorism, which emphasized observable behavior and rigorous lab experiments, psychoanalysis, more theoretical and clinical, and later, the cognitive revolution integrating mental processes, a sign of healthy scientific debate, though also a source of fragmentation. Many psychological theories were tested, revised, and refuted via empirical studies over the 20th and 21st century. In short, psychology transformed from speculative philosophy into a discipline that, in many respects, adheres to the scientific method and experimental tradition, albeit focused on complex living subjects rather than physical phenomena. Okay, so that's how it developed or changed. Psychology as a social science versus a natural science. A key reason psychology's status is debated is its position. A key reason psychology's status is debated is its position at the intersection of social and natural science. Nandun kasi siya sa gitna. Anyway, psychology is usually classified as a social science, meaning it studies human individuals and groups and how they behave, think, and feel in social contexts. Unlike a pure natural science, psychology does not deal only with the physical world's makeup, though the brain is a physical organ. Human behavior is also shaped by personal experiences, culture, and social interaction. Ulit, basahin ko ulit. Unlike a pure natural science, psychology does not deal only with physical world's makeup, though the brain is a physical organ. Human behavior is also shaped by personal experiences, culture, and social interaction. In contrast, the natural sciences, physics such as physics, chemistry, biology, deal with phenomena governed by physical laws and often allow precise quantification and prediction. A vivid illustration of a vivid illustration of this difference is that any two electrons are essentially identical, so an experiment on one electron will apply equally to another. By contrast, no two people are exactly alike. So an experiment's finding on one sample of humans may not hold in every detail for another example. For another sample, humans have free will, individual differences, and are influenced by context. Factor, factors factors which introduce variability that natural scientists don't face to the same degree. As one commentary puts it, psychology doesn't have the same kind of predictive power as physics or chemistry. It is hard to predict individual human behavior with high precision, and even foundational concepts like intelligence or happiness, which were both mentioned during the debate, can be defined in multiple ways. Indeed, psychologists themselves sometimes disagree on theoretical frameworks, like what factors truly underlie behavior or mental processes, reflecting that the field has no single unifying paradigm comparable to, say, the theory of evolution in biology or plate tectonics in geology. That's what's missing sa psychology. Okay. Yet, despite these complexities, psychology is still a science, specifically a social science, grounded in scientific methodology. Researchers in psychology formulate hypotheses, collect empirical data, and use statistical analysis to test their ideas just as other sciences do. I think ito yung sinasabi ni Kainaro. Okay. The difference is that psychology's phenomena involve subjective experience and socially influenced variables, requiring different approaches than a chemistry experiment. The field's strength is that it embraces this complexity. Psychologists uses controlled experiments when possible, but also deploy observational studies, surveys, long, longitudinal research, and other methods to systematically study mind and behavior. In sum, psychology's subject matter is distinct from that of natural sciences, but its commitment to the scientific but its commitment to the scientific approach classifies it firmly as a social science, a discipline using scientific tools to understand the human side of the natural world. Okay, so the scientific method in psychological research. One way to judge if psychology is a true science is to look at its methods. Science is not defined by its matter so much as by its approach to gaining knowledge, often summarized as the scientific method. Key criteria include formulating testable hypotheses, collecting objective evidence via observation or experiment, ensuring results are reproducible, and peer reviewing and refining conclusions. Psychology as wait, psychology as thought Psychology, as taught and practiced today, conforms to these principles in much of its research. Psychologists routinely use the scientific method. They propose hypotheses, gather data through experiments or structured observations, and analyze results statistically to see if the data support the prediction. Crucially, psychologists strive to draw conclusions empirically from data gathered than personal opinion and to minimize bias in study design. In experimental psychology, researchers use controlled experiments akin to those in other sciences. For example, to test causation, an experimenter might manipulate an independent variable, say level of sleep deprivation, and measure its effect on a dependent variable, while holding other factors constant. This approach mirrors experiments in biology or chemistry, with the added challenge that perfect control is often impossible when dealing with human participants. Psychologists also carefully distinguish correlation from causation. 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 Correlation from causation. They may first find a correlation, that is, people with higher stress report more illness, but then design experiments to test if stress actually causes health changes. Through such methods, psychology has built a substantial body of knowledge, that is, the reliable effects of reinforcement on behavior, the stages of cognitive development, etc., that stands up to specific scrutiny. Ulit. Through such methods, psychology has built a substantial body of knowledge that stands up to scientific scrutiny. Mm. Apart from experiments, psychology employs a range of scientific research methods. Observational studies and case studies systematically record behavior in natural settings. Surveys and psych- surveys and psychometric tests gather quantifiable data on attitudes, abilities, or personality traits. Neurobiological measurements like fMRI or EEG link to phenomena to brain activity, bridging into the natural sciences. In all cases, researchers aim for operational definitions of their concepts so they can be measured and use statistical analysis to determine if findings are significant or could have occurred by chance. Moreover, psychological research is subject to peer review, and findings are published in scientific journals for scrutiny and replication by others. As an American Psychological Association notes, the field involves a breadth of rigorous research, evaluation, and analysis, which is why psychology is indeed considered a science. Okay. To be sure, not every branch of psychology has historically been equally rigorous. Early in the 20th century, Freudian psychoanalysis gained popularity despite being based on clinical insights and unfalsifiable, unfun, un, unfalsifiable constructs rather than laboratory evidence. This led philosopher Karl Popper, which was also mentioned sa debate, to famously label Freudian and Adlerian, Freudian and Adlerian theories as pseudoscience, not because they were trivial, but because they could explain any possible outcome and thus could never be definitely definitively disproven. Ulit. This led philosopher Karl Popper to famously label Freudian and Adlerian theories as pseudoscience, not because they were trivial, but because they could explain any possible outcome and thus could never be definitively disproven. Popper argued that a hallmark of true science is fal- falsifiability. A genuine scientific theory makes risky predictions that could conflict with evidence and be proven wrong if nature doesn't cooperate. In his view, psychoanalytic theories and Marxist theory failed this test. Whatever happens can be interpreted as consistent with the theory. So one cannot design an experiment that the theory could not explain. Behaviorist psychology, by contrast, with its focus on observational behavior and testable learning principles, fit Popper's criteria more closely. Over time, psychology has moved toward greater empirical testability. Modern psychodynamic researchers, for example, conduct outcome studies on therapies, and cognitive psychology's proposed models can be tested with experiments. The field still grapples with theories that are harder to test. Some example, there's some evolutionary psychology narratives. The field still grapples with theories that are harder to test, but the overall trend has been toward operationalizing concepts and rigorously testing hypotheses wherever possible. Reproduc- reproducibility, tama ba yung pronunciation ko nun? And the replication crisis. No evaluation of psychology's scientific status would be complete without addressing the recent replication crisis. Reproducibility, the ability to obtain the same result when an experiment is repeated, is often called the cornerstone of science. Mm. If researchers cannot replicate a finding, it calls into question the reliability of that result and theory built upon it. In the past decade, psychology has faced sobering evidence. Sobering. In the past decade, psychology has faced sobering evidence that many findings were not as robust as initially believed. In 2015, a large collaboration of psychologists attempted to replicate 100 published studies from top-tier psychology journals. The results were striking. While 97% of the original studies have had reportedly had reported statistic ang daming tongue twister dito ah. The results were striking. While 97% of the original studies had reported statistically significant effects, only about 36% of the replication attempts yielded significant results, and the replicated effects were on average roughly half of the magnitude of the original. The success rate differed by subfield. Like classic cognitive psychology studies replicated about 50% of the time, whereas findings in social psychology replicated only less than 25% of the time. This and other audits have led to talk of a crisis in psychological science, as well publicized effects from power posing to priming. Sometimes, as well as publicized effects, sometimes fail to appear under repeat testing. Critics seize on the failures as evidence. Critics seize on these failures as evidence that psychology lacks rigor. Indeed, one external critic argued that psychology often fails to meet basic scientific standards like controlled condition, reproducibility, and predictability. If many psychological results can't be reproduced on demand, is it really a science? Psychologists have answered with a mix of self criticism and reform. Importantly, the replication crisis is not unique to psychology. Similar concerns have arisen in medicine, economics, and even biology. Science, by its nature, is self correcting. An initial published claim is really an invitation for others to verify or challenge it. Failing to replicate a result doesn't mean the endeavor is unscientific. It means the scientific process is doing its job of weeding out unreliable claims. In psychology, the uncovering of non-replicated findings has led to a revolution. To a credibility revolution. Researchers are now tackling the problem by improving methods. Example, larger sample sizes to ensure adequate statistical power, pre-registering study designs to prevent cherry-picking of favorable results, sharing data and code for transparency, and conducting more replication studies as routine. These reforms are already bearing fruit. Recent projects that implement high standards report substantially higher replication rates. In short, psychology has confronted its methodological issues head-on, which is itself a very scientific response. Far from disproving that psychology is a science, the replication debate highlights how the field is actively evolving to enhance its scientific rigor. Critics and comparisons. Psychology's scientific rigor versus other fields. Excuse me. Psychology's challenges have long invited criticisms from both philosophers of science and scientists in other disciplines. We have already noted Popper's falsifiability criterion and how he doubted the scientific status of unfalsifiable psychological theories. Another influential perspective came from Thomas Kuhn, who suggested that disciplines like psychology were pre-paradigmatic, paradigmatic, pre-paradigmatic, lacking a single dominant theoretical paradigm, and therefore had not yet achieved the mature normal science phase of development. The existence of multiple The existence of multiple competing schools, like behaviorism versus cognitism versus psychoanalysis, etc., in the mid 20th century was evidence to Kuhn that psychology had not coalesced around a unifying framework in a way physics or chemistry had. This view implies that psychology is still in a formative scientific stage, trying out different approaches rather than refining one paradigm. Ano ba yan? Defining one paradigm. While contemporary psychology has more consensus in some areas, example broad agreement on evolutionary theory in psychology or the basic architecture of cognition, it's true that theoretical fragmentation remains compared to older sciences. Even today, psychologists debate foundational questions. Is intelligence one general factor or many? Which psychotherapy approaches which psychotherapy approach works best and why? More than, say, chemists debate atomic theory. Such pluralism can be seen as a sign of youth in the science, though it also reflects intricate complexity of human behavior that may simply require multiple levels of explanation. Excuse me. How then, from yung history niya earlier, di ba? It's one of the first discipline, school of thought, kung saan nag-branch out yung ibang sciences. Now, it's parang, um, it's saying that it's still in its early stage in science. Mas mabilis nag-develop yung ibang sciences because of the intricate complexity nga of human behavior. Is that why? So, I'm just babbling, sorry. Scientists from hard disciplines have sometimes been blunt in their appraisal of psychology's rigor. Nandito na ako. As mentioned, there's a perception that physics or biology yield more solid truths than psychology does. One outspoken critic, microbiologist Alex Berezow, argued that psychology often does not meet the five basic requirements of a field to be considered scientifically rigorous. Clearly defined terminology, quantifiability, highly controlled experimental conditions, reproducibility, and predictability and testability. Ito yung related dun sa tama ba? If I can remember, related dun sa formula na pinakita ni Kayo on screen during the debate. Parang something that's missing from psychology nga. So, I mean, tama rin yung pinapoint ni Kayo. He pointed to research on concepts like happiness, where definitions are fuzzy and measurement is difficult as inherently unscientific, which is also parang, in a sense, were explained, mentioned and explained during the debate. Hindi ko na maalala kung it's the intro or rebuttal of the intro and then rebuttal or rebuttal of the rebuttal or the cross of the rebuttal. Basta, doon, panoorin niyo yung debate. Anyway, this topic just um became interesting for me. Anyway, nasa na ako? Ulit, he pointed to research on concepts like happiness, where definitions are fuzzy and measurement is difficult, as inherently unscientific. How exactly should happiness be defined? Psychologists can't use a rule or ruler or microscope, so they invent an arbitrary scale, he wrote, noting that what makes one person happy might not make another happy. With vague terms and hard to quantify variables, Berezo argued experiments can hardly be consistently replicated or yield reliable predictions. He provocatively claimed that calling psychology a science is inaccurate, an attempt to redefine science, warning that if any field with a few numbers gets to be science, the word loses meaning. Hence, the example na pag ginamit mo yung scientific method to witchcraft, then it makes witchcraft science. Which is just an example, di ba? Na parang, I know some would say na, sorry, you're saying witchcraft science. Yung mga ganun na, di ba? Mga nganak na sa ganung mga statements or claims. But, feel free to explain if mali yung interpretation ko. But such critics, while pointed, tend to overlook that not all of psychology is vague or impractical. Many subfields of psychology deal with well-defined constructs. Example, visual perception, memory capacity, neural responses, and do achieve quantifiable, replicable results. Berozo himself conceded that not all psychological research is equally wishy-washy. Some research is far more scientifically rigorous, and the field often yields interesting and important insights. The issue is that psychology spans a huge range of topics from biologically rooted processes like sensation and conditioning, where experiments can be tightly controlled, to abstract phenomena like morality and creativity, where measurements are more challenging. Compared to physics, psychology faces inherent limits on control and prediction. Human subjects cannot be isolated and measured with the precision of physical particles. Even biology, a hard science, encounters similar complexity when studying living systems. For instance, predicting the spread of a disease or the effect of a drug in diverse human population is not an exact science either. In fact, the replication crisis has touched biomedical research as well, with some pharmaceutical companies reporting that they could only replicate a minority of published findings in cancer biology. This underlines that complexity and variability are obstacles to scientific certainty in any field. Excuse me, not a unique failing of psychology. I'm not sure if na-mention ni Inaro yung yon, yung ganong klaseng explanation about psychology. When comparing scientific rigor, one can say that physics sets the gold standard. It deals with inanimate matter under universal laws, enabling predictions of astonishing accuracy. Example, predicting planetary motion to fractions of a degree. Psychology, investigating the mind, must contend with probabilistic prediction. It can tell us risk factors or likelihoods. Example, people with condition X are twice as likely to develop condition Y, but rarely pinpoint exactly what one individual will do at a given moment. That said, psychology uses the same overall approach of hypothesis testing and empirical validation that other sciences use. It has also developed sophisticated methods like longitudinal studies to infer causality, twin studies to disentangle nature versus nurture, and meta-analysis to find consistent patterns across studies. It has also developed it has also developed sophisticated methods to deal with challenges of its subject matter. In educational and social intervention, psychology applies randomized controlled trials, just as medical science does for drug testing. The American Psychological Association and the Association of Psychological Science both emphasizes psychology's identity as a science, supporting initiatives to improve methodological rigor and replication. In practice, leading psychology departments often reside in colleges of science and require rigorous training in research design, statistics, and biology. Finally, it's worth noting that psychology's blend of approaches, statistical analysis, controlled experimentation, and observational insight, might differ from the laboratory centric images of physics, but this does not negate its scientific nature. Renowned physicist Richard Feynman once criticized areas of psychology and education research as cargo cult science, following the form of experimentation without yielding real results. He gave an example of early rat maze studies where subtle uncontrolled factors, like sound of roar, confounded results, arguing that some researchers failed to identify and control such factors, leading to false positives. Feynman's message, however, was not that psychology can never be science. Rather, he was imploring all scientists, psychologists included, to adopt utter honesty and rigor in experimental design, to publish all details that might invalidate their conclusions, and to actively seek out flaws in their theories. In recent years, psychologists have heeded this advice by improving transparency and methodology. The very fact that psychology has undergone a period of intense self reflection and methodological reform in response to critique demonstrates its core commitment to scientific values. I think yung part na hindi, maybe I missed it, but I didn't get from Kainaro. He was not able to explain the change. Nahirapan talaga akong intindihin. Anyway, here's the conclusion. So, is psychology a science in the truest sense? Considering the evidence, the answer is a qualified yes. Psychology originated from philosophy but has matured into an empirical discipline that uses the scientific method to study mind and behavior. It occupies a unique middle ground between the natural and social sciences, employing rigorous experiments and quantification where possible, while also grappling with phenomena that are inherently harder to measure and predict than physical processes. This dual nature means psychology will never look exactly like physics with its ironclad laws, but nor should it be dismissed as unscientific. The field has demonstrated a long-standing commitment to objectivity and evidence, from early laboratory studies of perception and learning to modern neuroscience and cognitive experiments, to randomized trials of therapies. It has produced theories of great utility that have been repeatedly tested and refined. At the same time, psychology has humbly confronted its limitation, the replication crisis being a prime example, and worked to correct course, thereby strengthening its scientific credibility. Prominent experts and institutions continue to affirm psychology's status as a science. The APA Dictionary of Psychology plainly defines the field as study of mind and behavior, and its practitioners as scientists. The Association of Psychological Science explicitly uses psychological science to underscore the empirical research driven basis of the field. University programs train psychology students in scientific thinking, statistics, and research methodology, reflecting the consensus that psychology is fundamentally a science, albeit a young and evolving one. In comparing psychology's rigor to harder sciences, we find differences in degree but not in kind. Okay. Yes, predicting human behavior will likely always be more complex than predicting planetary orbits, but complexity of subject does not disqualify a field from being scientific. It simply raises the bar for how carefully research must be done. Psychology aligns with the scientific method in forming hypotheses and testing them empirically. And when it diverges, the correction comes from within science itself, through criticism, better studies, and updated theories. Okay. Psychology with Psychology aligns with scientific method in forming hypotheses and testing them empirically, and when it diverges through over-reliance of untestable theories or findings that don't replicate, the correction comes from within itself, through criticism, better studies, and updated theories. In the end, psychology earns its place among the sciences by continually striving for objectivity, transparency, and evidence-based understanding of its subject. As one overview concluded, due to the breadth of rigorous research, evaluation, and analysis involved in psychology, the subject is considered a science. And with And with its centuries of accumulated knowledge and ongoing refinements, it promises to provide useful insights well into the future. So yun yung end. And then there's a list of resources here. As you can see, mahaba siya. Yan. Hindi ko kayang basahin lahat to, but if you have time, please do check. But here's the finding or the result of my search on ChatGPT. If you have a more simpler explanation, please do share sa comment section. But that's it. Wait, saan tayo mo? Saan tayo? Dito tayo sa conclusion. Yan. Diyan tayo sa conclusion. Okay. So that's it. Now it's clear to me what Kainaro is trying to argue or stand for. Yun lang talaga, during the debate, I really had a hard time understanding him. Maybe also because of my lack of knowledge sa field of psychology and my lack of understanding of the study itself or the the subject itself. But I'm coming from the point of a person na talagang got intrigued and got interested and um, trying to understand kung ano yung um, argument ng one side and the argument of another side. And it's a good debate. It's a good discussion and it's a good use of your time trying to um, learn something new, kumbaga. But basically, that's it. Okay, so now we can say, wala namang ano, wala namang panalo or talo, but I think the point of that debate is to check who can argue or say their point their stand and their position well, or in a way that yung audience could get something, could learn something, 'di ba? So I think that's it. So sana next time, next exercise ng debate, kung baga, if the community could find a way to do it, is parang a topic wherein we know that yung isang side is really for the other side, pero i-argue niya yung opposite ng side niya. Sana gano'n naman. For us just to see um, how someone, let's say, malagay sa isang posisyon na hindi niya gusto, but he or she needs to parang make a stand kasi doon siya nilagay. Sana gano'n. Kung ano man yung topic na yun, I don't have anything in mind, but if you have, let's parang um, talk about that or start building that kung anong topic man yung gano'n. Tapos ang magde-defend ay yung tao na ang stand niya is nandun sa opposite side. Pero ang i-defend niya sa debate is yung opposite ng stand niya. Let's see kung merong kayang gumawa ng gano'n. But um, that's it. This is my maarting mamayan reaction or follow-up doon sa nangyaring debate last night between Caillou and Kainaro on the topic of psychology, it being a science or not. So yun lang. Thank you for watching. If you reached this point, so thank you so much for your time. And please do let me know your comments dito sa ginawa ko or dito sa result ng ChatGPT search ko. Put it in the comment section below and like and subscribe. Ayun, yun lang. Thank you so much. Smile always. Don't be afraid to use AI or chat GPT. You learn something. You pick up something one way or another or somewhere along the way. So yun lang. Have a happy life. Smile always. Bye!